Hi there, my name's Joanna and I'm an illustrator. Today I'm sharing a tutorial on how I render jewels. For this tutorial I used Copic markers, a Micron pen, 2H pencil, a white gel pen, and white gouache with a small paintbrush. I'm going to start by using my 2H pencil to create a pencil outline of the earring that you see above. It's a little peach one, it's really sparkly and pretty. I just go around each shape, just doing the outline of each shape so that I can get a basis for what I'm going to fill in later with color. Once I'm done creating the basic shape for each of the jewels, I go around them with another pencil line, and this little outline will be the setting for each of the stones. Next I'll go back in with my pencil and create the little prongs for the settings. They're usually on the corners of each jewel, but for the large center stone, they're on the middle of each of the jewel's sides. The last step of the pencil sketch is to go in the center of the jewel and create sections for all of the facets. So there's usually like a main shape in the center and then lines connecting out to the sides. Now that I'm done with my pencil sketch, I can start adding color. So I'm starting off with E23 and I'm just going around the outline of the jewel, filling in that little pencil sketch outline that we created earlier. I don't fill in the entire outline because I want to keep a little bit of the white showing through. Next I'm using E37, which is a little bit of a darker color, to add some lowlights and dimension to the stone settings. I'm going to also use this color to fill in all the little prongs on each of the stones. Make sure not to cover up too much of the previous color that you put down because you want to still keep that high-low effect. Now that I'm done filling in the stone setting with color, I can go ahead and start filling in the stones. So I'm going to use N1 to fill in the clear stones. I start by filling in the bottom sections with color, the little facets that we created earlier, and then go over some of the facet lines with the N1 marker, making sure to leave enough white from the paper showing through to represent the shine. Next I'm going to use N2 and go in and cover up some of the bottom sections to give it a little dimension with a darker color. And using the same technique for the peach stones, I'm going to use R02 to start out, the lighter color, filling in the bottom sections and covering some of the facet lines with the marker, making sure again to keep enough white from the paper showing through. And then I'm going to come back with R22, which is a darker peach, to sort of add dimension to some of the lower facet sections and go over the jewel lines, the little facet lines, with the darker peach marker. Now to make the jewels really pop, I like to use a Micron pen and go around the edges of each stone. So using .005, it's a really fine tipped pen. I go around the outline of each jewel and around the prongs and then around the inner line of the stone, so inside each of the settings, to really define the lines and make the color really stand out. To add a little bit more dimension, I'll go back over some of the darker portions with R22 and back over some of the darker gray portions with N3. Now it's time to make the jewels look three-dimensional. So we're going to use the Micron pen again and go over the facet lines that we created in pencil using very light strokes. We don't want it to be too heavy-handed and too stark of a contrast. Now if you want, you can stop here. I like to take it a step further, making sure that that ink dries, and go in with a white gel pen to add even more highlight to make the stones really pop. I just go in with a white gel pen, and this can mix with the Micron pen, so make sure that you let the Micron pen dry a little bit first. But go over all the little facets, go over all the little prongs with just a little dot of the white gel pen, and it really adds that extra element of shine and sparkle. And you'll notice I'm covering up some of the lines that I just made with the Micron pen with my white gel pen. This keeps the lines from looking too artificial and too dark. And now that I've added so much of the white gel pen, I'm realizing that I've lost some of my color, so I'm just going back with the dark peach R22 and adding a little bit more depth. And then I want to go back with my Micron pen and just make sure that I didn't cover up any of the outlines with the white gel pen. I did accidentally, so I can just go back over and fix that really quick. And because an artist is never satisfied with their work, I went back with RV14 and just added a little bit more color to the peach stones. I wanted them to pop a little bit more. And then what's super fun, and you don't have to, but you can, is add a little bit of white gouache with a very skinny paintbrush, just covering over some of the facet lines that you just made, adding little dots here and there, sort of random, just capturing a little bit of extra sparkle. And that's how I render jewels. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, be sure to like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some of my other tutorials. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.